Hey everyone, and welcome. All right, let's just jump right into it, shall we? Today we are breaking down the absolute chaos that was the 2026 Monaco Grand Prix. I mean, it's the most glamorous, yet arguably the most grueling street race on the entire F1 calendar. We're going to go through the whole thing chronologically, from a truly dramatic end to qualifying, a full race digest from lights out to the checkered flag, and all the crazy drama that unfolded both on and off the track. We've got plenty of photos and illustrations to really bring this to life, so buckle up.
Here's our game plan for today. We'll start with qualifying at Monte Carlo, then move on to lights out and the race chaos. After that, we're diving into Charles Leclerc's brake nightmare, the post-race penalties and drama, the final race results, and finally a look at the 2026 championship point standings.
Okay, Section 1. Qualifying at Monte Carlo. Now, as you guys know, overtaking on the insanely narrow streets of Monaco, especially with these wide modern F1 cars, is practically impossible. So qualifying here is basically treated as the actual race. Look at this top 6 lineup. The massive standout here, Mercedes rookie Kimi Antonelli. He pulled off an absolutely magical lap, a 1:12.051. He literally snatched pole position right from under Max Verstappen and his own teammate Lewis Hamilton. I mean, for a rookie to have that kind of nerve under Monaco pressure, just wow.
But, there was a huge contrast in how qualifying ended. While Antonelli executed this flawless, magic lap, hometown hero Charles Leclerc, well, he hit the wall in his final run. It was almost like an early warning sign of the absolute nightmare that was about to hit him. And this really set the stage for all the crazy dynamics we saw on Sunday. Moving on to Section 2, Lights Out and Race Chaos.
Before we get into the on-track action, we've got to talk about a massive technical curveball thrown at the teams this weekend. Under the new 2026 regs, the FIA completely banned straight mode zones for Monaco. No active aero allowed. So, what does that mean? Basically, in a place notorious for super low grip conditions, the mechanical challenge of just keeping the car out of the walls became infinitely harder.
So, let's track this chaos from start to finish. Literally, right as the lights go out, boom, Max Verstappen is out of the race. Early DNF. Fast forward to lap 56, Lance Stroll bends it at the final corner. Then, lap 65, disaster strikes again. Leclerc crashes at the exact same final corner, bringing out a red flag. It was just a frantic 78 laps of high attrition, but through all that madness, Antonelli somehow survived to take the checkered flag.
Which brings us to Section 3, Leclerc's brake nightmare.
Let's slow down and look closely at what happened to Leclerc, because this was brutal. After crashing out of his home race, he didn't hold back. He said, and I quote, "I look like an idiot. It's borderline dangerous. It's not even braking." He was absolutely furious. His front brakes were locking up, but the rears were giving him zero deceleration. Imagine driving a modern F1 car and feeling like you literally don't have brakes.
So why did this happen? Well, it comes down to the setup. Leclerc has been struggling with his Brembo brake pads since Canada, causing massive inconsistency, especially on cold tires. Now compare that to his teammate, Hamilton, who was running Carbon Industry pads and had totally stable deceleration. It was like night and day. Ferrari has actually announced Leclerc will switch to Hamilton's spec for the next race to finally fix this.
Actually, there is a hilarious idea floating around the fan community about this. Ferrari and Brembo have a 50-year relationship, right? So fans suggested a PR trick borrowed from pro cycling. Just buy the Carbon Industry parts, strip the branding, and paint them black. That way, you preserve the sponsor relationship, but actually get the performance you need. It's pretty funny, but it really highlights the tricky politics of F1.
All right, Section 4, post-race penalties and drama.
So, the cars crossed the finish line, but the drama was far from over. Let me ask you, who actually finished in third place? It was a total mess in the steward's room. Sergio Perez got hit with a penalty for a false start out of position during the restart, which devastatingly cost Cadillac their very first point in F1. Can you imagine the heartbreak there? Meanwhile, Alpine successfully pushed a right of review, meaning Pierre Gasly was officially reinstated to the podium. Just wild boardroom drama after the fact. Now let's look at Section 5, the final race results. So, after all the penalties shook out, here is your definitive top 5. Kimi Antonelli's kept unbelievable composure through all those crashes and red flags to win his 5th straight race. I mean, this kid is a machine. He's followed by veteran Lewis Hamilton in 2nd, Gasly claiming that dramatic 3rd, Hajar in 4th for Red Bull, and Piastri rounding out the top 5 for McLaren. And get a load of this number. 7. A staggering 7 drivers completely failed to finish this race. And we're not just talking backmarkers. We're talking absolute heavyweights like Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz, and of course, Charles Leclerc. It really just proves how brutal the track and car control were on Sunday.
Finally, Section 6, the 2026 Championship Point Standings. Here's how things look for the drivers. Antonelli is just running away with it at 156 points. He has built a massive advantage. But look at Lewis Hamilton. With that strong second-place finish, he's climbed right up into second in the standings with 90 points, just edging out George Russell. The battle for best of the rest is really heating up.
Over on the constructors' side, Mercedes is building a commanding lead with 244 points. That's largely thanks to Antonelli's absolutely dominant streak plus Russell's consistency. They are pulling way ahead of Ferrari in second and McLaren in third.
So that leaves us with one big question. We are only 6 rounds into the season, and Antonelli already has a 66-point lead. Can anyone actually catch him this year, or is the 2026 championship already completely out of reach for the rest of the grid? It's going to be fascinating to watch. Thanks for joining me to break this all down, and I'll catch you next time.